Today we're ranking the entire Monday Night RAW roster of 2021. That's how much my opinion matters. I'm the forehead of the table, King Forehead after all. It's gonna be quite a difficult task because we have a lot of talent on the roster. Well, never mind. From the Scottish warrior, to the man who loves them women, to people who can barely wrestle while working in a wrestling industry, all of these people are gonna be judged by King Forehead. We're changing lives here, man. We're changing lives again. Am I a hero? Yes. And by the way, recent studies show that 50% of the people who clicked a like button on my video got laid. What a chance. You can't miss out on that opportunity. We're wrestling fans after all. Sheamus. I always liked Sheamus. He made everything work, whether it's in the main event, in the mid-card, tag team division, king of the ring. This man has everything. And lately, every time we see Sheamus in the ring, you know that match is gonna be the best match of the night. I almost threw up. I still feel the effects of recent Monday Night RAW. Sheamus was one of my favorite people to watch in the ring this year. I think he belongs in the S tier. I always liked Sheamus, but this year I've realized how great he truly is. He has the look, wrestling skills, promo skills, just a perfect wrestler in my opinion. And do I even need to talk about his fashion sense? Mansoor, the man who had one of the biggest streaks in wrestling history in Saudi. Everywhere else, he lost. I don't know what to say about that guy. I mean, he does have the wrestling skills, but the dude has zero charisma. And obviously, maybe it's not even his fault, but I'm judging from what I'm seeing. In Saudi, he's basically The Rock. He's a megastar. On the main roster, he just looks like a confused kid. So far, I think he belongs in the E tier because I don't think he's a bad wrestler. He can obviously wrestle. We just haven't seen enough, and so far, he's pretty boring. Drew Gulak. Some would say one of the biggest 24/7 championship enthusiasts. So at one point, he actually got a push on SmackDown. He beat Daniel Bryan. Right now, he's chasing the 24/7 championship. What happened, Drew? What happened?
Well, we can't have two Drews in the main event.
That is actually a very good point. I think he belongs in the C tier. I think he's a tremendous wrestler, but whether he doesn't have that much personality or WWE are just not giving him enough, because at this point, I don't really care about him. That actually sounded a bit too harsh. Elias. At one point, I was a big fan, and he was a heel, playing with the guitar, pissing off the crowd. He was one of the best heels in the company. As of right now, maybe it's the Thunderdome's fault. Probably is. He's boring. Like, he's really, really boring, and it goes to show you how important crowd is in wrestling. So right now, not a big fan. I think he belongs in the C tier because I do know how much potential he has, but as of right now, he's really, really boring. The Viking Raiders. They're alright. They're definitely two of the people who need to be drafted to SmackDown because it kind of feels like they have nothing left on Monday Night Raw. They won the championships, and I believe this whole tag team division needs a shakeup, so I think they're okay. Right now, I don't find them that entertaining. The C tier is getting some love today. Humberto Carrillo. Good, young-looking kid. Awesome wrestling style. Like, when he moves and he's doing a high-flying move, it almost feels like he gets stuck in the air. That's pretty special. But doesn't have that much charisma. Like, I like watching him in the ring. Everything else, he just doesn't feel legit. Am I a fan? Kinda. At the end of the day, he's really fun to watch, and if given a proper character, he could really succeed. And again, this is my personal list of people that I actually like. Jackson Riker. Okay, if that list was made 5 weeks ago, he would belong in the F tier. The guy sucks, has no charisma, bland. Right now, I mean, he's a little bit better. He looks like the type of guy that would basically stab me if I looked at him the wrong way. I respect that. I think he belongs in the E tier. Not a fan, but I mean, he's slightly improved. Jeff Hardy, one of my all-time favorites. I'm pretty sure all of you feel the same way. I have never met a person who said that Jeff Hardy sucks. Like, most of my childhood friends actually like Jeff Hardy the most because that's how much charisma he has. He's not even good on the microphone. His look basically speaks for itself, and his moves. As of right now, obviously he's not doing much, but he's one of my all-time faves. Obviously belongs in the S tier. Imagine having Jeff Hardy on the roster and not knowing what to do with the guy. The man is doing all this face paint for nothing. Jinder Mahal and his crew. This may sound shocking, I actually like Jinder. I was happy when he won the WWE Championship. He's not a great wrestler, but he has this presence. Like when he's making an entrance, I believe in the guy. Like, I can believe that this guy could be the WWE champion. Most of it is just his look. I understand that. But for some reason, I like the guy. He also has a great theme song. By God, this is shocking, but I'm gonna leave him in B tier. And these two belong in the E tier in my opinion. I mean, they're not doing anything wrong. We just haven't seen enough of them. And they do kinda have this legit presence. Like they're big boys, but they don't have any charisma, and in my opinion, the Singh brothers were actually a lot better. John Morrison, one of my favorite people to watch in the WWE right now. Again, when he's in a match, you watch. We always get some crazy spots, and his wrestling style is so different. He applied parkour to wrestling, and it works so well. He's also very charismatic, great on the microphone, funny. Just one of the best wrestlers in the wrestling industry right now, and he should be in the main event. I think he belongs in the S tier. Amos, big boy with a very big lack of wrestling skills. Obviously, he's still learning, and I'm not saying this as an insult, but the only reason he's in the WWE is because of his height, and there's nothing wrong with that. His wrestling skills definitely belong in the F tier, but the guy is charming. The guy has charisma. Whenever we see a funny segment, a comedy segment in the WWE with Amos, it's entertaining. It works because it's hilarious seeing a big boy acting funny. With that being said, he still has a lot to learn. I'm gonna leave him in the D tier. And I'm sure he carries a big D himself. AJ Styles used to be my favorite wrestler at one point back in like 2016 or 17. Sometimes it feels like he's just not given any interesting storylines, probably for like the past 2 years. I know many disagree, but in my opinion, he was always better as a babyface, and right now I lost a lot of interest in AJ Styles, but he's still one of my favorite wrestlers. Currently, I think he belongs in the A tier. Still one of my favorites, but you know, I'm losing a bit of interest. Keith Lee, one of the most beloved WWE superstars. People love Keith Lee. He actually beaten Randy Orton, and it seemed like he's going to get a big push. But where is he right now? Nobody knows. Probably locked in a dark room like Aleister Black was. I think he belongs in the B tier. I'm not sure about his promo skills, but he's really fun to watch in the ring. A big guy who doesn't move like a typical big guy in the WWE. So I'm a fan. I just haven't seen enough of him. So I think B is pretty much where he, stands. Kofi Kingston, another amazing wrestler, always fun to watch in the ring. Do I believe that the New Day need a change? Absolutely. I think most of us are tired of the same act. They're probably the greatest wrestling tag team of all time. I'm not saying they're bad. It's just that they haven't changed in a while, and it's getting boring. WWE are basically holding on to the merch sales and all that stuff, so I don't think they're gonna split up, but in my opinion, it's kind of getting boring. As far as Kofi Kingston, as of right now in the B tier. A couple of years ago, I'd put him in the S, but lately, I'm enjoying his matches, but he's not one of my highlights of the show. Lacey Evans. I know she gets a lot of criticism from the wrestling fans, but I was always a big fan. She has a character. That's all I need sometimes. She has a character, but it's not overly over the top. I think she belongs in the C tier. A lot better than people make her out to be. Lucha House Party. They're absolutely amazing in the ring, I get that, but wrestling is not all about flippy stuff. As entertaining as they are in the ring, it just doesn't entertain me. I'm not a fan of that type of wrestling. I think they belong in the D tier. They're not horrible, they're not terrible. I appreciate their work. It's just that I'm not a big fan. Mace and T-Bar. Now look, I'm not gonna judge their wrestling skills. I think they're okay. They have everything to make it into the wrestling business. Big boys, big bodies. What else do you need? The thing is, this gimmick, well, you know where I'm going with this, it's definitely an F. Just the most goofy shit in wrestling right now. Eva Marie, speaking of goofy, when she came back, I decided to give it a benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe she learned, maybe she's gonna be entertaining, maybe the gimmick is gonna be good. None of it was true. Some would say she actually got worse. Her wrestling skills didn't improve, and her delivery is just horrible. So I think Eva Marie and Doudrop belong in the F tier. MVP, I think he still counts as an active competitor, right? So I love MVP. I'm not saying he's still very good at wrestling, he's okay. But his presence, the way he manages Bobby Lashley and puts him over, like the best manager in the WWE right now after Paul Heyman. He's slowly gaining that reputation as someone who can basically fix your career, get you on that right path, not only in storylines but in real life as well. I mean, he made Bobby Lashley legit. At one point he made Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander legit. So I love MVP. I think he belongs in the A tier. Akira Tozawa, just another 24/7 championship enthusiast. I don't know his history. Maybe he was a great wrestler at one point. Lately, he's just a comedy act who's not funny. I think he belongs in the E tier. He's not horrible by any means, just very unentertaining right now. I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of his 205 live matches. He was good, so I don't know. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, horrible. Come on. This has to be the worst women's tag team right now, right? Am I wrong? Just a generic team that is basically going nowhere right now. I would personally put them in the F tier. Mustafa Ali, someone who kinda has it all, but WWE just have no idea what to do with the guy. You know, his current gimmick is horrible in my opinion. I hate it. He's just being a dick without actually trying to achieve anything. I'm still a fan, so I'm gonna leave him at C. I think he's just lately losing all the momentum. Naomi, someone that should be used a lot more in the WWE. She was entertaining. She is right now? Not really. I would put her in the D tier. I basically lost interest in her character. Nia Jax. Some people say Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time. I think I would disagree. It belongs to Nia Jax. I think she's the greatest wrestler of all time, but I'll leave her in the F tier because I want her to try even more. I want her to be as good as possible. And even though she's the greatest wrestler of all time, there's still room for improvement. Nikki Almost Superhero, come on. Come on. Come on, you already know. R-Truth. A couple of years ago, he was the funniest wrestler in the WWE. And while the 24/7 championship segments actually made him even more funny, over time it actually backfired. I don't even like his character anymore. I used to be a bigger fan of R-Truth, but lately he's just following shitty TikTok trends or, chasing the 24/7 championship, which is the same thing over and over again. Right now, I would put him in the D tier. I mean, I love the guy, but his 2021 version is just not for me. Randy Orton. I mean, I love Randy Orton. Family, Randy Orton. That's how much I love the guy. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. When he makes an entrance, Big D energy is just coming through your screens all the time. An absolutely unbelievable wrestler, great in the ring. He's a perfect professional wrestler. We can all agree on that. So, I don't have anything to say. Definitely an S tier. Reginald. I don't know. E, I guess. Alexa Bliss. Okay, look. We're talking about the new version of Alexa Bliss, right? I hate it. I've said it many times. I don't want to repeat myself. I absolutely hate this character. It makes me feel stupid for being a wrestling fan. I hate watching Raw. And most of it is because of this character. F. Rhea Ripley, someone that I'm also losing a lot of interest in. I don't like her current character, gimmick, storyline, whatever she's doing right now, it's clearly not working, but I know she could be a lot more and I love watching her in the ring. But judging by my current enjoyment in Rhea Ripley, I think she belongs in the C tier. Ricochet, always fun to watch. He doesn't necessarily have a lot of charisma right now. I mean, he can pull it off sometimes. He has these interesting movements, I guess. And lately he's been used a lot more, so I'm slowly regaining my interest in Ricochet. I mean, currently I like watching him on TV. I think he belongs in the B tier right now. And again, don't get me wrong, all of these are just my personal preferences at the time. It will change. It was different before. I'm not saying Lacey Evans and Rhea Ripley have the same wrestling skills. Riddick Moss. Who? Where is he? So this guy, I don't have an opinion on him. All I can say is that he has zero character. Just, I'm a professional wrestler. Right now he belongs in the F tier. Riddle. Okay. A few months ago, I couldn't stand the guy. I just didn't like his gimmick. I didn't get it. I thought it was stupid. I didn't even like him in NXT that much. Lately though, this guy is unbelievable. He just gives that presence of, I don't give a shit. I'm just having fun. He's acting like a kid. Obviously he's high, I understand that. And ever since he actually teamed up with Randy Orton, it made him that much more entertaining. Just one of my favorite people to watch, and he's probably one of my favorite wrestlers right now. I think right now he belongs in the S tier. Shayna Baszler, like, at one point was one of my favorite WWE female wrestlers. Lately, it's like a whole different character. Not a fan. Right now she belongs in the D tier in my opinion. It's kind of a shame she lost so much momentum. Shelton Benjamin. Like, if we would be judging the 2009-10, version of Shelton Benjamin, he would be probably in the B or A tier. But he's not really doing anything right now, so whenever I see him on television, I just don't really care that much. I think C is where he fits right now. I like him, just don't really care that much right now. The Fiend, okay. If I made this video a year ago, he would be in the S tier or A tier. This whole Alexa Bliss storyline, in my opinion, ruined The Fiend. It ruined him even more than losing to Goldberg. How can he even recover from this? At this point, I just want to see Bray Wyatt, and the Fiend character needs to either take a break or just disappear. I'm gonna put him in C because I love Bray Wyatt, but the Fiend character is making him worse at this point. Angel Garza. Tons of charisma, he kinda resembles Eddie Guerrero in a lot of ways. Really like the guy. It just seems like WWE are trying to reintroduce Angel Garza to as many times over and over again, and for some reason they just don't keep up with it. I'm not quite sure why, but I like him. When he's on television, I dig it. I think he belongs in the B tier. Titus O'Neil. He's a great guy, but is he even on the roster? Is that legit? Is he on the Tell me. Tell me a good Titus O'Neil moment. Xavier Woods. He's actually quite underrated. He basically has it all in wrestling. Like, truly. Very entertaining, great on the microphone, funny, awesome in the ring. Just a great wrestler. I think he belongs in the same tier as Kofi Kingston. They would be a lot higher. I'm just saying that the New Day definitely need to kinda, change their characters a little bit. Again, it's judged by how much I enjoy watching these people on television at the moment. Asuka. She's awesome. I may not like what she's doing right now, but she's fun to watch in the ring. Like, when we get these 8 women tag team matches, she's probably the only highlight. Like, she's doing all the fun stuff. So I guess she belongs in the B tier. Maybe that's a bit too high because I'm not really that into her current, character or what she's doing at the moment. But whatever WWE are giving her, she just comes out likable for some reason. Bobby Lashley, the women enthusiast. Man, I love watching Bobby in the ring. I love watching Bobby on the microphone. I love Bobby's presence. And I love the way Bobby loves them women, the way Bobby looks at them women, the way Bobby touches them women, the way Bobby satisfies them women. Bobby is great. I don't know what to say. He looks like a legit WWE champion. A lot of people are saying the ratings are down because of Lashley. Nah. Lashley is good. The show itself sucks. I think he belongs in the S tier. I love me some Bobby. Drew McIntyre. Another very likable dude. One of my favorites right now. Just love him. I don't know what to say. He's adorable. Great on the microphone, great in the ring, believable. It truly feels like he believes in what he's saying. When he's talking, you kind of forget wrestling is scripted. Like, that's how much wrestling means to this guy. It felt like he was proud, about being the WWE champion. And yes, I don't want to see him in the WWE title picture for at least 5 months, but eventually I want to see him winning the championship in front of a crowd. Love the dude, definitely an S tier. Cedric Alexander. He's just kinda whatever right now, right? The whole Hurt Business breakup was a big mistake and it achieved absolutely nothing. What was even the point? I think he belongs in the D tier right now. Charlotte Flair, someone that I really liked. She was my favorite female wrestler at one point, I think. Yeah, pretty much. Like in the top 3, definitely. Lately, just unbearable. Like, maybe that's the point, maybe she's being a good heel, but for me it's not necessarily me disliking her because she's a heel. I dislike watching her because it sucks. Her promos suck, her matches are okay, but I just don't like watching Charlotte Flair on television right now. I think she belongs in the C. As much as I like her, I'm not enjoying what she's doing right now. Damian Priest, someone that has a lot of potential. We haven't seen much of him, and as okay this whole Bad Bunny thing was, it kinda made Damian Priest look a lot less legit. Like, he's the type of character that should not hang out with people like Bad Bunny because, he's supposed to look legit, he's supposed to look like he's some freaking badass, and this storyline didn't actually show him as such. We'll see how the live audience responds to Damian Priest. So far, I do like the guy. I'm just saying that WWE are not doing him any favors. But I'm a big fan. I think he belongs in the B tier. And finally, The Miz. What else is there to say about The Miz? The greatest intercontinental champion of the modern era, I guess. Always good on the microphone, always entertaining. Could be annoying, but that's his character kinda, right? I like the guy. He always makes everything work basically. And to be fair, I like John Morrison, but a lot of it is because of The Miz. They're a great duo. I think he belongs in the A tier. Someone that I still kinda like watching on television. So this is my Monday Night Raw roster tier list. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that people who are lower are worse wrestlers. I'm just saying that I'm judging by what I like watching on television right now, which is not much when it comes to Monday Night Raw. There are people who are lower who should be a lot higher, but I basically lost a lot of interest. So this is my list. Let me know yours in the comments below. At least tell me 5 wrestlers that you definitely like watching on television and 5 you just absolutely don't care about. So here you go, my beloved WWE superstars. You've been judged. Your careers are going to change for life right now. The King Forehead has decided who belongs in the S tier and who perishes in the F tier. Thank you for watching The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.